Hey everyone. Today, let's talk about something every single one of us deals with: anger. We're going to look at it through a lens that's thousands of years old, the incredible wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita, to really understand where it comes from, the damage it does, and, most importantly, how we can actually get a handle on it.
So let's just jump right in with a straight-up question. Think about it for a second, really. What's the last thing that set you off? Was it someone cutting you off in traffic? Maybe an argument where you just felt like you weren't being heard? Or is it something simpler, just not getting something you really wanted?
You know, the stakes here are way higher than we think. According to this ancient wisdom, anger isn't just a bad mood. It's a total transformation. It's the process where we literally lose our reason, our compassion, our very humanity, and let something more primal and destructive take the wheel. All right, so where does this incredibly powerful emotion actually come from? Is it really the person who cut you off, the argument, or is the root cause buried somewhere much deeper inside us? Let's see what Sri Krishna has to say about it.
Okay, this verse right here, this is the key. It lays out a super precise chain reaction that always inevitably leads to anger. It shows us that anger is never the starting point. It's the final, explosive result of a process that starts way earlier.
So check out this four-step process. It starts off innocently enough, right? You're just thinking about something, an object, a person, an idea. But then that thinking leads to attachment. And that attachment starts to harden into a really strong desire, what's called kama. And then, when that desire gets blocked, bam, that is the moment Krodha, or anger, is born.
And here's where it gets so relatable for us today. The object of desire isn't always a thing. Sure, it could be wanting a bigger house or a fancier car, but it can also be something totally invisible, that ego-driven need for your opinion to be the one that wins the argument. In both cases, if that desire gets frustrated, the result is exactly the same: anger. Okay, so now we see where anger comes from. But what happens next? Once it's been unleashed, what's the real damage? Well, the Gita describes another chain reaction. And trust me, this one is a complete nosedive into self-destruction. This verse here maps out the entire internal collapse that follows an outburst of anger. See, anger isn't just a single event that's over and done with. It kicks off a series of catastrophic failures inside our own minds. Let's break this down, because it's pretty intense. First, anger leads to samoha, which is a state of complete delusion. You're not thinking clearly at all. This delusion then messes with your memory. You forget what's important. You even forget who you are and what you stand for. This confusion then destroys your buddhi, your intelligence, your very ability to tell right from wrong. And once that's gone, well, that path only leads to ruin. This concept of samahoa is absolutely critical. It's the moment of forgetting. You forget your values, you forget about the people you love, you forget your own humanity. It's that point where the beast inside is let out of its cage, and it's running the show without any wisdom or control. So after hearing all that, you might be wondering, is there a way out? Is there any hope? And the answer is absolutely. The Gita gives us both some really practical strategies and a much deeper philosophical shift to conquer anger right at its source. The first step is just good old-fashioned prevention. You have to know your triggers. If you know that rush hour traffic makes you furious, prepare for it before you even get in the car. Tell yourself, okay, this is going to happen and I'm not going to let it get to me. If being hungry or hangry makes you irritable, have a snack ready. But on a deeper level, it's about practicing contentment and living in a way that just naturally reduces the number of unfulfilled desires you have in the first place. But the real deep solution lies in this verse. It points to a path that goes beyond that constant push and pull of our likes and dislikes, our attachments and our aversions. This is about reaching a state of genuine inner freedom. So get this. The idea is that we are bound by two chains: Raga, which is intense attachment, and Dvesha, which is intense aversion. We tend to think of them as opposites, love and hate, but really they're two sides of the same coin. Both of them totally wreck our peace. Attachment brings pain when we don't get what we want, and aversion brings pain every time we have to deal with what we hate. So, true freedom is being able to move through the world without being a puppet to these two forces. It's about being like a lotus leaf on the water. You're there, you're present, but you're not getting soaked by all the chaos. You use your senses, but you're in control of them, not the other way around. And what's the reward for all this incredible self-mastery? What's waiting for us on the other side of anger, attachment, and aversion? It's the ultimate prize, a state of profound, unshakable peace.
This beautiful verse describes what happens when we finally achieve that inner tranquility. And it's not just about getting rid of the bad stuff, like anger. It's about the presence of something so much greater.
This state is called prasadam, and its definition is one of the most powerful things you'll ever hear: the complete and total destruction of all sorrows. Not just managed, not just coped with, destroyed, gone.
When you get to this place of supreme peace, your mind just becomes stable. Your intelligence isn't getting hijacked by your emotions anymore. And the result is amazing. All those little annoyances in life, the things that used to trigger you, they just lose their power. They can't disturb your inner calm anymore.
And finally, let's bring it all back to one last piece of super practical advice. What do you do when someone else is angry? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives us this simple pact: if one person is on fire, the other person has to be the water. Silence has this incredible power to de-escalate, to absorb the heat, and to stop that fire from spreading.
So we'll end by turning the question back to you. Now that you've seen this whole chain reaction, from a simple thought to attachment to desire and then to anger, take a moment and ask yourself, what is the one attachment in my life right now that might be standing in the way of my peace?